Hey YouTube, here again. I've got some more pickups to show you. I want to show you what I've got over almost 2 weeks now, certainly up until Saturday at least. Although there is one DVD I got yesterday for trade bait, which I'm going to show this time rather than wait till next time, because I want to get it traded in before it loses its value. Anyway, first of all, we'll go back to a fortnight ago almost. I kind of had a sneak peek of this on my Big Sleeve collection video. This is Black Panther, the Big Sleeve edition. I didn't go much into this on that video because at that point I hadn't opened it. I've watched the film, watched it that night. Yeah, it was okay. It certainly wasn't the best Marvel movie ever. At the same time, it wasn't the worst Marvel movie ever. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. But we'll take a quick look at this now that it's open, because I've got a few things to say. I'm just going to actually stop for a moment because that's stuck in there, and we'll see why. Right, now as usual, these things come on a J card. The Big Sleeve collection logo there. And you've got your contents, Black Panther, contents in text, DVD and Blu Ray, and then on the back but the actual sleeve itself, now as you can see, it doesn't sit closed. Now I kind of knew going in when I got this that it was not perfect. Somebody bought it for me. They didn't buy it for me, they got it because I couldn't find one myself, so he went and got an extra one, and I sent him the money and he sent me this. So I did know, he explained that all the ones on the shelf had this kind of kink and it was sealed up. It's difficult to see now that it's open. It's got like this bend in it. But yeah, it doesn't sit closed. There's no way anyone could have known this when it had been sealed. But also, while it was sealed, it's difficult to see, but it felt like there was a lump in this area, as if something had been stuffed inside. But when you open it up, again, I don't know if you can see this, but it's very proud here. Maybe you can see from the light when it light moves around it. There's a big bump, big bulge right here. And I thought at this point, and it goes all the way to the top as well, and I thought at this point, oh, when the art cards have been shoved in, they've bent over themselves and crumpled up inside. That's not the case. They're perfect. From what I can gather, this is just a manufacturer error. This seam that comes all the way down here in the centre doesn't look like it's been pressed quite in the right position, so everything's sort of budged over very slightly. When you come down here, you can see at the bottom there, the top and the bottom are not flush together, and it's starting to split at the bottom there. Now I don't know if every single one was manufactured like this, but I can assume at very least the batch that went to the Tesco's that this went to were all the same. The only other one of these I found online an unboxing of. Here's where it's really pronounced. If you try and close it, it just springs way back open again. And it just won't stay shut. Yeah, the only other unboxing of this I found online is Big Paulie's. Now he did buy quite a few of these, and in some of his videos he did show. It wasn't made aware. I don't think he was aware at the time, but he was showing around them. You could see the kink in the sleeve, wrapped up. At that point he hadn't opened his, but I don't recall his been, you know, so badly manufactured. So whether that one has the same problem, I don't know. Whether anyone else has got one of these can shed any light. But anyway, that's my little mini rant. All that said, I'm still really chuffed to have got this. Like I've mentioned in a few videos previously, I couldn't find one of these anywhere. None of my local Tesco's even sell big sleeves anymore. One of them actually still has a few of the November release big sleeves on the shelf. Stuff like what have they got? The Lion King, Fast and Furious, Valerian, probably a couple of others as well that I can't remember. Oh, Rogue One, which is ironic, and Trainspotting, as both of those were very quickly sold out when they were first released, and they were obviously reissued with those released in November. But yeah, that's the few that they only have left now. The website, I think, has closed down. I think it's this week that the Tesco's direct website closed down, but they sold out weeks and weeks ago of big sleeves. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to cut here again and put it all back together, and then we'll move on because this rant has gone way too long. Right, moving on. I've got VHS, DVDs and Blu Rays. I'm going to make a start and get through the VHS quickly. These first two, they came from Age UK. They sell their videotapes at 29p each. These are both Top Gear, but old Top Gear from the 90s. We've got Fast and Furious, which ironically came out quite a few years before the film did. This is Jeremy Clarkson and Tiffany Dell. And Top Gear Supercars, once again with Jeremy Clarkson and Tiffany Dell. One of these I think is 97 and the other one is either 95 or 96. This I was so chuffed when I saw it because I never see any of these out in the wild. This is Now That's What I Call Music 12. This was from the Butterwick Hospice in Thornbury. 15p. All of their videotapes are, well, I say the 15. If they're a single tape, they're 15p. But they're one of these places that they double up. Same with the DVDs. If there's 2 discs, they'll double the price. If there's 3 discs, they'll triple the price, and so on. And they do the same with the VHS. If there's 4 tapes, then it's 4 times the price. But they had this and a couple of other music videos, and like I do quite often, I ask, you know, have you got any more in the back? And they always say no. They never go and look, or almost never go and look. And the same again, they said no, we've got nothing else. So I kind of hope that maybe if I pop back later or the next day they might have some more out. I did, and we didn't have any more of these, unfortunately. I do like these old now That's What I Call Music videotapes. Just never come across them, and people always ask stupid money for them on eBay. Then something that I've had so many times back when I had a car boot stall selling videotapes, but never ever watched it. This is In Bed with Madonna. I watched this the other day. It was okay. For some reason, and I think I know why, although it's just my probably flawed logic. But this was released, as you can see, as a certificate 18. They reissued it at some point on VHS as a certificate 15, and I had a quick look after I'd bought this, and it's about 10 minutes less, 10 minutes shorter. And I guess there's quite a bit of bad language in this. There's nudity. Some of the scenes from the live stage show are a bit risque, so they'll probably cut all that sort of stuff out. Now, I don't know why this was released as an 18 in the first place. This was like 1991. I imagine the majority of Madonna's fan base at that time and before that were kids well under 18 years old. So that must have hurt the sales of this particular video when it came out, it being certificate 18, which is, even though it was reissued as a 15, I still think that was probably too high. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed it. This was really weird. Ibiza Uncovered 2. This was a reality show in the 90s. Probably one of the very first reality shows I remember really enjoying, and it was literally about reps and punters on holiday in Ibiza in sort of the mid-90s. And I was just thinking about this programme maybe 2 days before I found this. It was weird. It had something I'd not thought about for years and years and years, and all of a sudden it popped into my head, and then 2 days later, of course, I found this. I've never ever seen, I didn't even know this existed. There is an Ibiza Uncovered. It's not one, just Ibiza Uncovered VHS tape that I had years and years and years ago, but I never realised there was a second one as well. Probably for the second series. It's not the entire series, it's just like the best of bits. Then again, all these, like I say, 15p. This one is purely for nostalgia and collectability. I've got this on Blu Ray, but I just love this movie, Weird Science. Then these last two came from a different bootleg hospice, 10p each. Some Van Damme, double feature, double impact, and Nowhere to Run. Nowhere to Run, I'm sure I got this on Blu Ray last year. I think it's this film, but I might be mistaken. It might have been a different one. And when I watched it, it was so set in the 90s. It was really didn't stand up very well at all. I think it was it John Woo who directed it, and yeah, at the time it must have been an amazing film. It was very, very stylized, let's say, and yeah, it really doesn't hold up now. I'm pretty sure that was the one. I'll have to have a look through my Blu Rays and find out whether it was or not, but yeah, for 10p I had to grab that. This one I didn't know anything about, but it had a pretty good cast. This is an ex-rental VHS, Trixie. I haven't watched that one yet. We're moving on to DVDs. This I picked up yesterday purely for trade bait. Incredibles 2-disc collector's edition. The new films, is it out yet, or is it coming out? I'm not sure whether it's actually in cinemas yet, but anyway, quite often when a big sequel comes out, CEX inflate the price of the original movie for a very short time. And at the moment they're selling these for £6. Trading on this is 3. I paid 99p. I don't know how long that's going to last. It could end today. It could end in 2 weeks' time when the price goes back down. So yeah, that's literally bought for trading. Then this, I think, is probably the bargain of the week. This came from the Cat charity shop. It's Cat Protection or something like that. I don't go in there very often because the prices are really, really high, but for once I found a bargain. This is Starsky and Hutch, the complete collection, all 4 seasons. £3.49. I thought that was awesome. The outer box is a little bit battered, but one of the discs inside are mint. And the last disc of season 1 has got some scratches on. At a push, if there is a problem, I do already own series 1 on DVD, so I can switch out those discs if needs be. Somebody honking the horn outside, probably a taxi driver, because they're too damn bone idle and lazy to get out the flaming cars and knock on the doors. Oh dear. Right, more DVDs. These next lot were part of a 5 for £1 deal at the Salvation Army. There was only 4 DVDs that I wanted, and I picked up a CD to make up the 5th, but I'm not going to bore you with that one. we've got the Pelican Brief. And one of them's just dropped. Cars, hot rods and Jeeps. Then we've got Series 3 and Party Games, which I think is a Christmas special of Yes Minister. And if you bear with me a sec, I'm just going to pick that one up that dropped. Right, and finally from these four, and don't laugh, I was struggling to find a fourth, well even a fifth. I couldn't find a fifth. We have Jason Vale, the Juice Master, £7 in 7 days. I haven't looked at this yet, and don't worry, I'm not going on one of those weight loss journeys. I've had one of those NutriBullets for a couple of years now, more 2 or 3 years, and it got a bit of use when I first got it, and every now and again it do either a smoothie or a milkshake or something in it, but yeah, it really doesn't get much use. And I saw this, I thought, what the heck, maybe there'll be some decent recipes for something that I can use it for. It was 20p. Right, moving on. We've got from, gosh, where did these come from? British Red Cross, 2 for £1. Actually, they weren't, well, they were 2 for £1, only cost they were both £1. They used to do a 3 for £1 offer, and then that changed to 2 for £1 offer, and now it's just buy one get one free because they individually price box sets and stuff like that now. So yeah, some Tellus of Alice, Robert Shaw, A Town Called Hell. Know nothing about that. And the DVD Steelbook of Ronan. Some 25p DVDs. These, oh no, right. Move that one out of the way because that wasn't part of the 25p. So from the Butterwick Hospice, this is where I normally get the VHS tapes that are 15p each. This was 25p. These are all 25p. Although the woman on the checkout did make a bit of a boo-boo, and I pointed it out to her, but she was adamant that she was right. So Derren Brown, The Specials, The Heist and The System. I don't think I've seen either of those. Machete. And this is where she made her first mistake. We've got Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. This is the original 1970s BBC production. I think it was 1970s. I've heard this is really good. I watched the film, the one that came out in, I think, about 2010 or 11. Gary Oldman bored the crap out of me. It really was so bad. But yeah, I hear this is really, really good. But like you see, it's 50p. It's one of their, you've got an extra disc, so you pay double the money. But she was adamant all the DVDs were 25p. And I said, oh no, that one and a couple of others that I'll show you were 50p. And she said, oh no, that's changed now, they're all 25p. And I don't think you're right. This is the same woman I'd had an argument with a couple of days earlier about the VHS tapes. She was adamant that they were 25p each, and I actually had to go over to the shelf and show her the price tag that said all VHS tapes were 15p. Anyway, and then on that same day from a different charity shop, was it Mind? I think it was. This was 99p. Maze Runner Death Cure. This is going to trade. I've watched it. It was okay. It wasn't awesome. I enjoyed it. I'll probably get it on Blu Ray when it comes, to about £3 or £4 in CEX. Until then, I don't need to watch it again anytime soon. So I'll be popping this in the CEX today to trade it in. Okay, just need to dig down in this lot for a moment. Yeah, so going back to that Butterwick Hospice with the 25p DVDs, these were both marked up at 50p, but she insisted she wanted to charge me 25p for them, so I wasn't going to argue. On Blu Ray Drive, this is a film that I watched only once in 2011, I believe. I bought the steelbook from HMV. It was really cheap. It's back when I was really into steelbooks. Watched the film, hated it. Never watched it again. Sold the steelbook because the price just went ridiculously silly. I think I got about 55 quid for it on eBay. Anyway, I think I'm at a point now where I really want to give this another try because so many people like this film. Now, I think part of what I didn't like was Ryan Gosling. I haven't seen many of his films. I think I might have only seen 2. But I do know films that he's been in that I've watched I haven't enjoyed. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not. But for what I thought was going to be 50p, which turned out to be 25p, I'll give it another try. Also, again, 25p. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. How have I not got this? I actually have. I have the Real Heroes edition, and I tried to watch it a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't. I bought it new, but it wasn't sealed. There is no marks whatsoever on the disc. The disc is absolutely as new and mint. But it just kept freezing and skipping all the way through and all the way through. It took about an hour to get to the first instance, and it just froze for a few seconds and then skipped forward about 2 minutes. And I thought that was weird, so I rewound it and it did it again. I can rewind to a point where there's about 5 or 6 seconds that it just will not play, and I don't know why. And then it does that again with more frequency. The further on in the film it gets, to the point where I never actually got to watch the end. I mean, I've seen the film before many times, so I was really frustrated. So literally this is to exchange the disc. I'll just put this disc in my Real Heroes set, and then just dump the other one. Yeah, 25p. Again, I thought it was going to be 50p, but I was really happy. Then this was cash. No, it wasn't Cash Generators. It was Time Bargains, which used to be. I can never remember whether it's Cash Converters or Cash Generators. I think it's Cash Generators. We've got Ocean World 3D. It didn't come with a slip book. With a slip case, I already had this. I got this in a bundle a while ago. I'd had my eye on one of these in the charity shop in British Heart Foundation about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was in there for a few weeks for $2.99, and I just had a feeling that it was, if it hadn't already been in Poundland, it was going to appear in Poundland at some point. So at £3 I decided to pass. Anyway, this turned up last week for 99p. So what the heck, it's another 3D title that I didn't have, even though I had, when I got this slipcover I was convinced that I had that. It was something else that looked similar. So yeah, for £1. And this is another one that I think this last lot are all now from CEX. Yeah, it's another one I was convinced I owned. I didn't. Justice with Nicolas Cage. Again, it didn't come with a slipcover. I already had that. I got it in the same bundle as that one, for exactly the same reason, thinking that I already owned it. No, it turned out I didn't. 50p. Leave them till the end. Day of the Dead, the remake. I've never seen this. Picked it up for £1. I noticed this when I was in CX on Saturday. This has gone up to £2 now. Don't know why, but yes, I picked it up for £1. While I was in there on Saturday, I only grabbed a couple of titles. I got Easy A for £1. I've been looking for this for a long time on Blu Ray. I never seem to see it out and about. It's very easy to grab off eBay or Amazon or somewhere like that, but I didn't. I got the DVD as part of a 3-movie set, I believe, in Poundland last year, just as a placeholder until I found the Blu Ray. Now I've got the Blu Ray for £1. Again from CEX, this was £3. Comes with the lenticular slipcover. We've got Final Destination 5 in 3D. And then lastly, some Arrow titles. Maniac Cop. This was £6. Comes with the booklet, which is very important. Jackie Brown. This has gone up considerably, actually, fairly recently. I believe this is one of the very last. I think there's only one other. I like to collect these, what I call white sleeve editions of the Arrow video Blu Rays. That's how they were initially released. They all have this white border and then the artwork framed inside. And then over time, most of these were discontinued and most were reissued in these more common style cases now. But I like these old ones. Like I said, this I think is one of only two now that are still available in this style. The other one being the Forbidden Zone, which is there, which has never been reissued to this style. And I'm pretty sure this is the same, although there is a steelbook version of this, which may or may not be out of print. Again, this one comes with the booklet. And then finally from this lot, for £6, we've got Deadly Blessing. Now, this is a weird one. So it comes with the Blu Ray and the DVD like it should. Now, whether whether Arrow made a mistake manufacture with this, or whether at some point this has been sat second hand somewhere else and stuff's got mixed up inside, but in here we have not one but two booklets and not one but two art cards. They didn't have two of these on the shelf at CEX, so I don't think they mixed them up, unless maybe they had one that sold before I got this one. I don't know. But yeah, this is, yeah, it's odd. It's not the first time though that I've picked up an Arrow release with two booklets in. I think one of those Battle Royales that I got had an extra booklet in. Or it might have been that Battle Royale. One of them. I know I had an extra Battle Royale booklet which I sold quite recently on eBay. So yeah, I thought that was just weird. This I already own. But I have this, I guess, reissue with the newer artwork. I mean, it's basically the same artwork, but it's without the border. I owned this quite a few times back in the day. A few years ago when Amazon used to do, I mean they still do the 2 for a tenner Blu-rays, but once upon a time there was a lot of Arrow titles in their 2 for a tenner Blu-rays, and a lot of them were still trading in even at that point at CEX for as much as 7 or 8 quid each. And I must have bought this with quite a few others. Class of Newcomb High being another one, City of the Living Dead, Demons 1 and 2, you know, a fair number of titles, and I literally would order a bunch of them, take mine into CEX so that the trade value didn't go down in the time it took for these to be shipped to me. And so quite a few times I got this release, this version, and during that time is when the transition came to this version. So because I'd already traded this in, I ended up with this one in my collection. Now I've got this one back, so I'm really chuffed. Anyway, I've whittled on for long enough now. This section of the video itself is a stupid amount of time, and I think I've made at least 2 or 3 cuts, so I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I bet it was, once again, way too long. Anyway, that's what we have. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Ta-ra.